Okay, let's dive into this explainer. If you've ever walked past the smoky, glowing, honestly kind of intimidating alleyways of Shinjuku's Omoide Yokocho, you might have felt just a little overwhelmed. It's an incredible place, absolutely, but it's chaotic. So today, we're going to transform those narrow, packed lanes into your ultimate, mouth-watering Tokyo adventure, using the fantastic source material we've got right here. Imagine this scenario. You're squeezing into this tiny, 5-seat counter right in the heart of Tokyo. The air is literally thick with delicious smoke. The locals are chatting shoulder to shoulder, and you might be asking yourself, well, exactly what am I supposed to eat here? What's this alley actually known for? To answer that, we actually have to look back at history. You see, this alley grew directly out of post-war food stalls. And what's super fascinating is that the menu really hasn't drifted much since then. It is all about smoky, cheap, protein-heavy plates that pair perfectly with drinking. Today, there are about 60 counters packed into these two small lanes, and they're dedicated almost entirely to the fine art of the grill.
Section 1. The Gateway, Yakitori Basics. If you're a first-time visitor, let's just start our night out with the foundational dishes of the alley, the universally loved grilled chicken skewers. Think about that price point, just 100 to 200 yen. That is incredibly affordable. Portions here are deliberately small. Because of this, you really shouldn't think of this as some massive, formal sit-down dinner. Instead, kind of treat it like tapas over charcoal with a really fast turnover. Small plates, quick bites, and you're moving on.
Now, when you actually place that order, you've got a pretty big decision to make between two primary seasoning choices. On one hand, we've got Tare, which is this rich, sweet soy glaze used to carry the flavor of the leaner meats. And on the flip side is Shio, or simple salt, which is used to perfectly highlight the rich, fattier cuts of chicken.
So if you're wondering what to actually order, here is your essential skewer breakdown. Momo is the juicy chicken thigh, and honestly, that should be your default first choice. Then we have Negima, which alternates thigh and grilled leek. It's incredibly balanced. Definitely don't miss Tsukune. It's a savory chicken meatball often served with a raw egg yolk for dipping. And for richer textures, try kawa, which is that crackling, fatty chicken skin, or tabasaki, the chicken wing that takes a little more work, but man, it delivers massive flavor.
Listen to this great piece of advice from food writer Ryo Takeda. Order 2 or 3 skewers, not 10. The crucial takeaway here is that a countercook grills to the moment. The char on that meat is at its absolute peak perfection in that very first minute off the coals. So ordering in small rounds guarantees your food is always piping hot. And, as a bonus, it gives you a really great excuse to linger and chat with the cook and the locals sitting right next to you.
All right, on to Section 2, the local specialty, Motsuyaki. Let's see how our night builds into the bolder flavors of the alley. Motsuyaki is grilled pork offal. Now please, don't be intimidated by that word. This is exactly what the hardcore regulars come for, and it just happens to be the best value food in the entire alley. The organ meats are meticulously cleaned, skewered, and grilled in the exact same style as the chicken. Honestly, if you enjoy a really good, rich sausage, you're going to absolutely love this.
Here are your entry points if you want to be a bit adventurous. The gateway cut is Shiro. This is the large intestine, and it's deliciously chewy and rich. There's also Reba, or liver, which becomes beautifully soft and iron-sweet when cooked correctly by a master. The source material actually notes a squeamish visitor who refused offal for 3 entire trips to Tokyo. They finally tried a single Shiro skewer on a really cold night, and now they order it before they even look at the chicken. The jump from squeamish to hooked is usually just 1 skewer wide.
Section 3. The full menu matrix. But hey, what if you want something beyond just a skewer, or maybe a drink to wash all this rich food down?
Here's a complete culinary roadmap that basically plans out your entire night. You start with Yakitori for your first time, then move to Motsuyaki for the local specialty. But there's more to it. Nikomi is a slow-stewed offal broth, which is absolutely perfect for when it's cold outside. Tempura is there for when you crave a crispy bite with your beer. And finally, ramen. The traditional way to end your night before catching the last train home is with a warm, comforting bowl of noodles. It's really a complete guide to pacing your evening.
Of course, you're gonna need something to drink. The key is finding whatever beautifully cuts through all that smoke and fat. A cold draft beer is a classic start, followed by a sharp, fizzy highball, which is whiskey and soda. It's quite literally made for grilled food. But here's a critical pro tip for your etiquette. Keep the counter happy by never nursing a single drink for an hour. Always keep a fresh beer or whiskey soda in your hand to match the fast-paced energy of the alley.
Moving to Section 4, the hidden culinary craft. We're going to look closely at the invisible magic that separates a truly legendary counter from a basic tourist trap.
That magic starts right under the grill. The best cooks use these dense, white logs of Binchotan charcoal. It burns incredibly hot and is almost entirely smokeless. This is exactly why your chicken tastes immaculately clean and perfectly charred, rather than being coated in this heavy, bitter smoke that just totally ruins the flavor. And then there's the Tare. This isn't just a bottle of soy sauce you'd grab from the store, it's literal legacy in a pot. Many counters have a single pot of this sweet dipping glaze that they've been topping up for years. Because each fresh batch of hot skewers is dipped into this exact same aged pot, infusing its juices into the sauce, you are quite literally tasting the long-running, flavorful history of that specific counter with every single bite.
You can also spot a true master by their technique and their ingredients. First off, Offal is a strict same-day business here. Good motsu is delivered and cleaned the exact morning you eat it, because age is the only reason offal elsewhere can taste a bit strange. Furthermore, you'll know a cook is properly trained if they sprinkle salt from high up. This high-altitude drop ensures a perfectly even coat of seasoning over those fatty cuts. It's a really subtle tell, but a deeply important one.
Section 5. How to order and survive. Let's wrap up our night out and learn how to actually navigate the alley without looking like a confused tourist.
If you just follow these 4 simple steps, you'll blend right in. Step 1. Sit where the cook points and immediately order a drink. Step 2. Order just 2 to 3 skewers at a time. Remember, pointing at a photo menu is perfectly fine, or you can just confidently say omakase and let the cook choose for you. Step 3. Eat, drink, and reorder to keep the momentum going. And Step 4. Catch the cook's eye and ask for the bill. A vital tip here, guys. Always bring cash. Credit cards are rarely accepted in these tiny establishments. To understand the true culture of the alley, take this advice from editor Claire Whitmore. Do not treat one counter as the whole night. This expertly highlights that bar hopping isn't just allowed, it is totally expected. Eating a few skewers, paying, and moving on to the next tiny bar is the most authentic way to truly experience the vibrant, dynamic energy of Omoide Yokocho. So you've mastered the grill. You know the etiquette. You understand the profound difference between a basic yakitori stick and perfectly charcoal-grilled motsuyaki. Now that you're armed with this insider knowledge, the only question left to ask yourself is, where will this amazing culinary adventure take you next in the neon-lit Tokyo night? Keep exploring, keep tasting, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.